In the first six chapters, Lord Krishna talked about the nature of Jeev and Karma Yoga predominantly. In the second six chapters, Bhagwan discussed the nature of Ishwar and Upasana predominantly, especially Virad Upasana. When a seeker goes through these stages of understanding and sadhana, he becomes ready for Gyan Yoga, which is the recognition of the identity between the Jeev and Ishwar. This is the topic which will be dealt with in the following six chapters. Hello and welcome to my channel. We are reading Bhagavad Gita, and today we started reading chapter 13, Kshetrakshetragya vibhag Yoga. So let's continue. The 13th chapter is presented in the form of six topics: Kshetram, Kshetragya, Jnanam, Geyam, Purusham, and Prakriti. Though these are discussed separately, we should note that Kshetragya, Geyam, and Purush are the same essentially. Similarly, Kshetram and Prakriti are essential the same. Kshetram. The entire objective universe is Kshetram. From the beginningless Prakriti, everything experienced by us comes under this. It includes Mahat, cosmic intellect, Ahankar, cosmic ego, the subtle and gross elements, sense organs of action and perceptions, the mind and its modification. Still, Krishna especially mentions the body as Kshetram because we generally do not see the body as part of the universe. Kshetragya. That conscious principle which illumines the Kshetram is called Kshetragya. Having defined Kshetragya, Krishna reveals that the Kshetragya is none other than the Lord Himself, who is the consciousness in all bodies. Thus, Kshetragya is one all-pervading consciousness. This Kshetragya alone is called Jeev. So the idea given here is the essential identity of Jeev and Ishwar. Jnanam. From the 8th to the 12th verse, Krishna talks about some important values which prepare the mind for self-knowledge. They are humility, simplicity, non-violence, forbearance, honesty, service to the teacher, purity, steadfastness, self-control, detachment from sense objects, absence of egoism, constant awareness of the misery in birth, death, etc., dispassion, non-identification with son, wife, house, etc., being always equanimous in desirable and undesirable situations, unsavoring devotion to the Lord, seclusion, non-indulgence in people's company, constant self-inquiry, and not losing sight of the fruit of self-knowledge. Geyam. In the next six verses, Krishna talks about the truth which is to be known. It is beginless, beyond Sat and Asat, all-pervading, subtle, far and near. All-pervading, subtle, far and near. Though undivided, it appears divided, and it is the creator, sustainer and destroyer of all. It is the light of consciousness which resides in the heart of all. Being subtle, it cannot be known in its pure form, yet it shines in the body and in the world. One has to recognize it as pure awareness, existence, by distinguishing it from the body and the world. This method of teaching is called Adhyarop Apavad Prakriya, that is, the method of superimposition and negation. Having talked about these four topics, Krishna glorifies this knowledge as the one which leads the seeker to him. Purush and Prakriti. Now comes to the last pair. Purush and Prakriti. Both are beginningless. Blessed by Purush, Prakriti creates everything. And though beginningless, Purush and Prakriti are of opposite nature. While Purush is conscious, changeless and real, Prakriti is inner, changing and unreal. The body, the mind and the activities belong to Prakriti, whereas Purush is a mere eliminator of all these. When Purusha obtains in the body as Kshetragya, it seems to be a karta, Bhokta, etc. But as Paramatma, the absolute, it is ever unaffected and is ever the same. Not knowing this, when Purush identifies with the body and its guns, then all limitations and the consequent problems arise. One who has the discriminative knowledge of Purush and Prakriti attains immortality. In the following verses, Krishna sums up the teaching and presents its sadhanam and phalam. The wise man is one who always abides in the self, which is the same everywhere, which is actionless and which is unaffected, like the space or like the light. The self is not only the illuminator of everything but also the substratum of the whole universe. In fact, there is no universe other than the self. One who has assimilated this wisdom is Brahman itself and attains the supreme goal of liberation. To gain this knowledge, one has to purify the mind through Karma Yoga, gain knowledge through inquiry, and ultimately get established in the knowledge through Dhyan Yoga. Since the main topic is the discrimination between the Kshetram and Kshetragya, this chapter is called Kshetrakshetragya vibhag Yoga. So this is it for today. I'll read next chapter 14 in my next video. Till then, keep listening beautiful stories and keep smiling.